And we're live. Kickbackers! Is Billy gonna be in the shot? Is he part of the show?
We might be.
Right. KickbackTV
Live from Atlanta.
We on tour right now this week. Okay, it's a little off center. Sharing in the groups, and then we're gonna get it going. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, as we do every week, bringing you the best in politics and pop culture. We finally get to talk about Avengers, Infinity Wars. We still gonna save it though. We still gonna save it for the end of the show. But we're going to get to talk about it this week.
Looking forward to that.
So for the 5 people that haven't seen it, you don't have to worry about us talking about it at the beginning, right? Yeah, too bad. I was on Facebook going on people this weekend. They're like, oh, you're telling part of the movie. I'm like, nigga, the movie was out it's been out for like 9 days.
Yeah.
Right.
If you ain't seen it now at this point, I'm sorry for you. I mean, you're going to get some spoilers. I don't know how you made it this
Like
far without getting
everywhere.
spoilers.
Yeah,
because
like everywhere.
people were talking about it that weekend. So
Man.
if you still ain't seen it and you upset about spoilers, I mean, really, go fuck yourself.
Oh, there you go.
Wow,
There you go.
Yes,
Get your priorities together.
Strong words.
Get your priorities together.
I'm just saying, you can't be mad at people for shit like that. It's been 2 weekends now. Come
Right.
on, man. Cut
Right.
the shit.
Well,
Right.
well,
Right. I mean, and you talk about that shit everywhere. Like, I was talking about it in Burger King
Right.
earlier this week. It's just
Burger King.
everywhere.
I haven't been to Burger King, but I've been wanting to go try their spicy nuggets. Has anybody had those?
I have. They're okay. I mean,
Is just okay?
yeah, but you ain't really supposed to go to Burger King for chicken. And, you know,
Yeah. This idea of spicy nuggets just did something to me. Oh, spicy nuggets.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try those.
Excuse me.
That's you.
All right. Well, I'll share it up. So.
We posted it to the fan page. All right, we good. All right, so we'll let's see here. And for those that know, we are actually it's a podcast. You can tune in to us on wherever podcasts are available. Kickback TV show, Kickback TV live from Atlanta.
Check out that YouTube broadcast also.
Yeah,
that comes out typically every Monday, maybe Tuesday morning after the show. Right, you can replay the whole show in case you had to miss a little bit. It's all there for you. We're on everything now, right?
Yeah, we're everywhere. We're even on Christian Mingle because Mel made us a page next to her profile.
Now, you
'cause
know
she's on
I
there.
ain't on no Christian man. I ain't no.
Mel, the holy roller. Right. I don't think so.
And so here we go. Whoa, that was a lot of hums. Wait a minute. Sorry, Melly Mel. Oh shit, Melly Mel.
Yeah, like the rapper.
Yeah, it's like it's like we're talking sometimes. But oh, you know that part.
But that was Curtis Blow.
I don't know why you think I'm like 12.
That was cool.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
It's Melly Mel. I'm right. It's from the song "The Message." You both owe me an
whatever.
apology. You're questioning me about him?
It was a question, actually.
Actually, yes.
That's literally the way I phrased it.
No, it was Melly Mel from the song "The Message."
Okay.
Yeah, y'all know I'm a hip hop nerd. So y'all got the nerd with the movies and shit like that, but hip hop, that's what my nerd
But the brakes was definitely
The
Curtis
brakes was
Blow.
Curtis Blow.
Yes.
These are the brakes. Hit them up, hit them up. All right, y'all. Podcast has started. Thank you for tuning in on Facebook. Welcome to. Can you turn it on so it doesn't stop? I don't know how you do that.
I'll try.
It's in the settings.
Yep, I'll take care of it. Keep going.
So, welcome to Kickback TV, live from Atlanta on the road. We're in a different part of Atlanta, undisclosed location. But thank you for tuning in. We are Kickback TV, also known as the Black CNN, and the revolution will be televised. I'm new to Mayor, the righteous ratchet. If you throw it, I'll catch it. If you got it, I'll match it. Every Sunday at 7, I'm right back at it. You ready? Shaolin
Fantastic.
Let's go.
All right. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, So Mellow, also known as Melanie Dion of House Forehand, also known as the Breaker of Men, the Creeps,
Creeps?
also known as the Conscious Creep.
I think you must say the Queen of Creeps. I don't know what the hell.
No, I don't want to be the Queen of Creeps.
I was just like, wait a minute.
Nah,
What's going on here?
man. Who's knocking all that air in there? No.
Yeah.
What up, Sharice?
What's up, y'all? It's JB Frank, man. I'm that gangster geek representing nerds with attitude. As you can see, I'm fucking around with my phone right now. Happy Sunday, everybody.
Sharing and shit.
All right, y'all. We got a jam-packed show. We got some real things to get into.
Right.
We got some funny things to get into. And I predict the argument on the show today. Some of these topics, I predicted.
Really?
That I predict something's going to get heated today, JB. I think it's going to be y'all two. Because everybody knows I never argue with anybody.
Yeah, okay.
Can you
right.
scoot down before the lightning strikes? Thank you. In 3, 2.
We have a special guest on the show.
And Bentley.
Hey, man.
Bentley's on the show this week, I guess.
Yeah.
Thanks to Gelman.
Where are our sound effects?
I know,
Exactly.
right?
We had no sound
I
effects
know,
in a couple
right?
weeks. There you go.
All right, so our first topic, I guess we got to reel in a little bit because we got something real to talk about. Something that, if you're not up in arms about this, then I don't know what the hell you're up in arms about. There's nothing more pertinent than what's going on right now to our brothers and sisters.
Bienvenidos to Puerto Rico.
Yes.
What she said, we all know that they had, what initially started that? Was that a hurricane?
Mm-hmm.
The hurricane.
Weren't they hit like back to back? Was it them who was hit back to back?
I believe so, and they lost all power.
All power.
And then it was up to like 10-15% power for the whole country of Puerto Rico. And the president of Puerto Rico, I guess that's what we will address her as.
She's not the president.
What's
She's
her?
like a governor or a mayor or something
Yeah,
like
she's
that.
the governor, basically.
And how she pleaded with Trump, and how Trump went there with the paper towels and shooting baskets and all that disrespectful shit. Well, right now, they've been without any significant power for months. This was when did this happen? Like 6-7
last
months
September.
ago?
It was
Yeah.
September like 19th or 20th of last year.
So they're in dire straits, and when you're in that kind of situation, if you don't know, for everybody who's never lived in the hood, never been broke, never been beyond the hood, where it's destitute in third world conditions, when people are without justice, they become savage. So they're stealing water and stealing supplies.
They're trying to survive.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to survive, and it's been, man. I saw a video, I guess, posted from their news about how they were chasing people down, and it shocked me. It disturbed me, but it almost reminded me of like watching videos of black people in the hood of America. And I'm like, damn, they are really just going at people of color throughout this country. And for the record, Puerto Rico is one of our territories, so it's part of this country.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
So it's unacceptable. They're not receiving the aid they need. I'm a big proponent for doing stuff for black people in the cities. They're not leaving the country or leaving the area to go do it. But in this situation, these are our brown brothers and sisters, and they need our help, and they're a part of this goddamn country. And I can tell you how deplorable what's happening is, but I'd rather tell you or ask you to write your congressman, write your senator, make a phone call. If you don't have it within you to make at least one call or send one letter asking for more support in Puerto Rico, then or doing something online, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, it's that bad. We all need to get involved. I don't know how to stop what's going on. I don't need any help. I've invested. I donated. I can stand to donate again. It's not like I sent them $1 billion. I'm just one person. I'm not rich. But I sent them what I could. And I would recommend that we all kind of get back to that. And that's step one, I guess. And even if it's like $5. I know Fat Joe and Tidal, Jay-Z's app, had a campaign where you could donate. That's why I went through. But something needs to happen. Like, seriously.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty deplorable how we're treating these people. But let's be real about the circumstances here and the people that this is affecting, which are people of color, and how slow to respond our government has been in previous situations, because we know that there are areas of New Orleans that are still affected from Hurricane Katrina.
Yep.
So, and then look how the government's responded to Flint.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this
it's colonial imperialism at its
sad.
least finest, and it's been the way the U.S. has operated since before it was the U.S. Fuck everybody else. Let's utilize them for their resources and whatever. And whatever happens to them, they're on their own. They just got to deal with it.
I mean, they're just
It's
waiting
entirely fucked up.
for everything to just completely collapse there. I mean, not that it hasn't already, but then the investors are going to go in and buy up all this property, and then next thing you know, they're going to be making millions off of it. That's exactly what's going to happen. They're just waiting. They're buying their time.
I guess prayers for Puerto Rico. Don't forget. I think that's the most important part. Please don't forget what's going on there.
Yeah. And it starts with political action, like you said. We got
midterms are coming up.
Yeah.
We got to reach out. We got to write to people. We got to make sure that people understand that Puerto Rico is a political issue for us in this country, not just in that territory. It's important, real important.
Absolutely. And I hate to move on abruptly, but we got a lot to cover today. And our prayers are with Puerto Rico. Our thoughts are with Puerto Rico. But we do have to move on to other topics. What we got next, man?
So Issa Rae came under fire earlier this week from some comments from a book that she wrote 3 years ago, when she was like coming off of Awkward Black Girl and I guess rolling into Insecure. Basically, people were up in arms about her comments about educated black women basically being at the bottom of the dating pool, and what better match would they have to date other than Asian men who are also at the bottom of their dating pool? That's pretty much what she was saying. But I'll let these gentlemen elaborate.
Go ahead.
I didn't like the comment. I was offended by the comment. I wasn't informed that the comment was made not necessarily in jest, but I guess it was a satirical piece from her book. The book is supposed to have a certain comedic element, and I just feel like I have no problem with her acknowledgement that black women at the bottom of the dating pool. It's hard for me to believe that because all I date is black women. So I'm like, they're number one on my dating pool. But if you look at the country, I'm not going to deny her claim. I'm going to accept the fact that for whatever dumbass reason, people aren't recognizing the beauty in black women. Okay, fine, they're stupid. I understand that to be true. It's not my experience, but I understand it to be true. And I guess Asian men are at the bottom of their dating pool, or as far as men. As a black man, I feel it too. Like we all gangbangers and drug dealers, and nobody wants us. And
At least you have the benefit of possibly having a big dick. All men are allegedly have small penises, which automatically puts them at the.
But I don't know if people really believe all Asian men.
Yes.
Do you believe that?
I mean, it's a stereotype, but
Do you
from the
believe
porn that I've seen, yes, I would believe that. Until I see some evidence, somebody send me some proof to show me something.
I ain't gonna get into the size of
give me a second.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm not really interested in why they consider themselves to be at the bottom.
Right. Let me get my point out, JB.
Go ahead.
So I guess that was her thing, and what was stung me was, in order to articulate that, if that was her true point, what she said was, if you're an intellectual black woman, who is better to date for you than an Asian man? And I guess you could say, well, it's how you say it, and it does matter because we get on Kanye, we're going to get to him later, but his comments, and because of what he said and how he said it. Maybe not necessarily what he said, but how he said it. And I think that Issa Rae is not above being held accountable for how she presented that point. And because her statement insinuated that black men weren't intelligent enough to be compatible mates for intellectual black women. That's what her comments insinuated. Now, she did it because of maybe a pain from black women not being selected on these dating apps, which I don't go to them, so I don't know. And I can understand her angst, but she then flipped it on us. And as black men, we're often told we're inferior. Black women can get jobs quicker than us. You know what I'm saying? Like we are the biggest threat in this country, and we're ostracized as such, and we're villainized as such. Every movie you see got a black man that's a villain. You know what I mean? Like so there's a stigma with us, and we take exception to things too, ladies. You're not the only people in this country that are objectified and villain. Like the whole black man got big dick, Asian man got little. That's a level of objectification. Mm-hmm. Now
it's like all black women have attitudes.
Right, but we get it too though. That's all I'm saying is you get it, and I respect that you get it. But don't act like we don't get it, and don't act like we can't be sensitive when those points are touched upon. And that was my beef with people online. Well, some of the sisters online is they were acting like we didn't have a right to be sensitive to certain things, or if we were, just too bad for you. And I'm like, don't forget, through your Me Too movement and everything that's going on, we go through shit too, like real nigga shit, not good shit. We were hung and slain and like we go through shit too.
And we drive.
Yeah, and we drive cars, and you know what I'm saying. Like I'm all for Me Too, and I'm all for supporting women. I think you know that just from watching the damn show. You should know that. If you know me in real life, you also know that. But don't act like we don't go through any fucking thing. And her comments did sting. JB.
Well, I can first echo your commentary. I took umbrage to the comments. I know it was done in a satirical context, but the tough part about that is, from my perspective, kind of the lack of apology that kind of came alongside that. Like, oh yeah, this is how I feel, whatever. A white man can stand up and say black men are intellectually inferior, and they can write it in a 400-page academic book, and that can be their opinion. But when those opinions get expressed, particularly by black women, then they become a part of the pervasive consciousness. And that is putting our men down. Like, you can't put it no other way. Yeah, it was supposed to be funny, but it fucking wasn't to a significant part of the population who supports your whole media movement, Issa. Like, it's not just black women watching your show. That shit ain't gonna be funny to us. All we're asking is that you consider that across the board when you make these comments. In the context of empowering your women, your people, make sure you don't do that by standing on your number one partner. You know what I'm saying? We're more than just a stepping stone.
Yeah, I agree. And if any ladies feel like, oh my God, I can't believe they're mad about that, then you should really think about, you should take a step back and wonder if you're part of the problem. A real nigga shit, like, you got to think about that, like,
I think we should let Mel
I don't care nothing about how black men feel.
That's not what she's saying.
I didn't say she said that. I'm talking people that respond online. Oh, I know what she responded to. So
I'm not saying that she doesn't care about black people. I mean, black men in particular. I've already stated, like, it was tongue in cheek. She was making. I explained the whole context of it. Like, since black women are seen as the bottom of the barrel, the less desirables, then why not date an Asian man? That's exactly how I interpreted it, and that's how a large majority of the women that I know interpreted it as well. Now, if y'all were offended by it, I'm so sorry for that. But it wasn't. I did not take it as a personal attack against all black men, saying that y'all are just not on the level of dating educated black women. That's not how I read it.
Yeah, and I'll say this. I have to. We gotta be, because one, we're not boycotting Issa. Two, it ain't the end of the goddamn world. It is a thing that was offensive, and you said it was offensive. And all we wanted to do is be acknowledged, like, I can see how that could hurt. That's really all I want.
Right.
I didn't mean it that way. I don't think she meant it that way. But I can see how that could hurt a little bit. Because, you know, it's one thing to say, you're on the bottom, we're on the bottom, let's date. That's saying one thing. But saying that who's a better partner for you than, who's a better partner for intellectual black women other than these people. At that point, you make a comparison. And at that point, you take it a step further. If you just say, we're on the bottom, y'all on the bottom, let's date. There's nothing I could say to that, except you shouldn't be on the bottom because black women are my number one. I don't know how the fuck you got on the bottom. That would be all I could say. But when you say who's better for us than this, it's it does make a comparison. But we are still gonna watch motherfucking Insecure. And if you haven't seen Awkward Black Girl, go back and watch it. Buy the book. How about that? Because I don't think Issa had malicious intent. I don't think she sat around going, fuck black men. I just don't believe that. You're not going to convince me that that's what Issa's mind or heart was. I think that she made a joke, and as I think maybe everyone in this room has done, and it was a little too.
Didn't play well.
What was that word?
It didn't play well.
It didn't play well.
People were offended by it, like Michelle's comments at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Well, I loved her. I loved her.
Sanders.
But I'll say, like Kanye's comments about black people should have fought back in slavery.
Yeah, that
because
too. We'll get there.
We'll get there because every comment, because I don't want to belittle my offense to what Issa said and play it off like that comedian at the White House. I watched the whole correspondence thing, and they deserved it. She gave him a good boot, and which they all do. So,
But they were so upset.
Oh, they were. Sarah Huckabee Jenkins Smith Johnson, that bitch was very upset. What's her name?
Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Sanders. I couldn't think of the last name for nothing. I was like Jenkins Smith Johnson.
Added about
Jones,
85 last
Jones,
names.
All the black names.
Sheldon Clay
Her name is literally one of the whitest names you could think of. Sarah Huckabee Sanders. It's
Jesus.
right up there with Jefferson Beauregard Sessions.
Yes.
Just white shit.
Yeah.
George Washington Bush.
God, it doesn't get much whiter than that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Damn.
You're right. I see.
I don't know what that George Washington. All right, but hold on. Let's stay on topic. Look at that George Washington. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm going to name my son George Washington.
no, please don't.
Okay, I'm not. What's the next
Look at
topic?
him, George Carver.
Hey.
Yeah, skip the Washington. Fuck
Hey.
Washington.
Hey.
How about that? Yeah, this is a tough one, y'all. My heart is broken. So the Redskins organization.
From Washington.
Huh.
Yeah, the Redskins organization put together a trip for their investors to Costa Rica and brought the cheerleaders along. When they got overseas, they basically
Pimp them out.
hijacked and human trafficked their own cheerleaders. Basically, they took their passports and told them that the only way they're going to be able to get back home to the U.S. is if they act as escorts for these investors. Full service escorts. I'm speechless.
Let's let Mel.
Yeah, this is.
You're the lady.
Yeah.
I want you to address this.
So they get to Puerto Rico. They have to do a photo shoot, a topless photo shoot, where they're wearing body paint. Okay. Then after said photo shoot is completed, they selected 9 of them to go out and entertain the investors for the rest of the evening. Then on the way back to the hotel, they get pulled over by the police, and because the police think that they're prostitutes, but they have no way. The police ask for their identification, but they have no way of showing that they are not prostitutes and that they're citizens because their passports have been confiscated for security reasons. Right? Mm-hmm. This is some fuck shit. They weren't even compensated for going. Like cheerleaders, NFL cheerleaders don't really get paid shit, if at all. The only ones who really do get compensated are the Dallas Cowgirls.
Yeah, they are Cowgirls. They're the cheerleaders.
I know.
But the team is the Cowboys. Cowmen. The Dallas Cowmen.
Oh, God.
The cow dudes.
No.
That's a man.
We're the Cow Kings. The Dallas Cow Kings.
It's like
Get back to the topic.
To my
Dallas
recollection,
Cow Kings.
the name of the team is the
like the
Cowboys.
devil.
But boy, but yeah, this is fucked up. My heart is broken.
Adventures. He's like, it's Quell and Thor. He's like, you're a dude. This is a man.
Yeah. This is a man. You're a dude. Yeah. Go ahead, JB.
Sorry.
I was just saying, my heart is broken. Like, it took way less than this type of bullshit for me to stop watching the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is just, like, it's just bad. Like, I don't know that I want to watch the NFL next year,
It's just disgusting.
behind this kind of bullshit.
I mean,
Like, what are y'all doing?
the cheerleaders are basically slaves. Okay, let me not say that. But they work for free a lot. And they're definitely not compensated like they should be. Like, I'm sure, whatever. It's disgusting. It's pretty fucking deplorable that the organization let this shit go down like this.
Right.
Like, what the fuck, Redskins? Y'all supposed to be my team, but I don't think I could rock with y'all off of this one.
Exactly.
Like, come on, y'all. Get it together. This shit happened back in 2013. I think we said that in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, really, all this shit is coming to light now, and there's no telling what kinds of other things that may have happened in other football organizations.
Right.
Exactly.
It's 29
That's what
teams.
scares me. That's what scares me.
We don't know what's going on league wide, and we have been proponents of sticking up for our sisters on this show. That is something that has been important to Mel, it's been important to JB, it's been important to me. We are probably the only podcast, with I would think, from what I've seen, that have been really sticking to these issues and really, I don't want to say backing the Me Too movement, but backing equal rights and equal treatment for women. Like y'all need to chill. And this is a terrible example of why we do get shitted on sometimes, men, and why sometimes we do deserve it, and why sometimes it's mind-blowing to think that you're a cheerleader for a football or basketball team. You're going out of the country. Okay, cool. It's probably a free trip, but you're not making much money, and because I think all of them have full-time jobs. But it's an opportunity. So like, hell yeah. And then you go, and then your passports are taken from you, and it's like, do this type of photo shoot, escort these men out for a date, and you're literally threatened with the proposition that you may not be able to get back to the country because you're already not making a lot of money. So you can buy your own ticket, which maybe you can. But if you ain't got your passport, it don't matter if you buy a ticket. Like, this is strong arm shit. This ain't, we were talking about it earlier. Like, it's one thing because dudes do this and you shouldn't do it, fucking motherfuckers. But like a girl will come over and kick it, and if she's not willing to do what you want, maybe you don't take her home. Or maybe you make her take her Uber, which is bullshit, deplorable. You should get your ass kicked and probably damn near sit in jail for that little bam ass shit. However, this is different. This is a whole nother extreme. You're in another country. Being in a different country, if you've never left the U.S., let me tell you, going to a whole different country is a little bit intimidating to begin with. There's different customs, different laws, you got different languages. That's intimidating by itself. Even if you're on a vacation and having
Especially
a ball,
in Costa Rica.
it's still a little bit intimidating, am I right? Mm-hmm. So imagine you're there under the guise of this billion-dollar organization that has to give you a little bit more leeway, a little bit more freedom, a little bit more sense of security, because that this billion-dollar conglomerate that's your team, and this multi-billion-dollar conglomerate that is the NFL is still there to support you. And then they give us that passport unless you do this. I can imagine how intimidating it is. Women are forced to do things in job interviews, like on little levels that aren't as dire as being in a foreign country. and they cave in.
Yep.
So what the fuck you think they're gonna do in another country? And it's deplorable, man. I'm like, I don't know what to do about it. I don't know how to fix it. That's Bentley. I don't know how to fix it, but I do know that I'm gonna show, pledge my support to the Washington team cheerleaders, and I don't know what else to do.
The DC football team.
The DC football team cheerleaders, because I'm not calling them by the.
You can't call them Washington or the other name.
Oh yeah, you can't call. You said for Washington. Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's a crazy story. Google it, look it up. The Washington Redskins cheerleaders, and just wow.
Yeah.
I became a I'm sorry, Jimmy. I became a Cowboy fan because my mother became a Cowboy fan in revolt of the Redskins and the fact that they wouldn't let any black people play for them. They were the last team to allow an African American to play for them. They were like, fuck this integration shit. We ain't doing it. And that's how a lot of people in DC became Cowboy fans. So I hate the Redskins for that. I hate them because they're my rival team. And this is like another reason to like really, really not like the Redskins. This is Dan Snyder needs to get on top of this and do something.
Shit, it was probably his idea.
It might have been his idea, but somebody need to do something somewhere. JB.
Yeah, I mean, if you need to entertain your investors, Dan, just do what the Cowboys did. Like, hire some professionals. Like, this is awful. Like, this kind of fuck shit. Again, like I said, gives me yet another reason not to watch the NFL, because the Redskins, they're like my crazy uncle. You know what I'm saying? I grew up a Redskins fan. My heart is broken behind this shit. This is not some shit that I can ever let go, because it's so fucked up. That's all I got to say, y'all. Heart is broken.
You can always be a Cowboy fan. I just want to throw that out there. But let's get into.
That's not gonna happen.
Wow.
Not ever.
I didn't say anything disparaging about your boys.
Yeah, it's just the crescendo voices.
Not ever.
That's just not gonna happen.
Not ever.
You need to do it.
No.
You
Not
should
ever.
do it.
Ever.
Speaking of stupid motherfuckers and broken hearts, we
Kanye
gotta get
West.
into it. Yeah, gotta get into it, because he's also breaking my heart. I mean, I'm not surprised, but it's just all the way fucked up. He's our shut up stupid award, man.
Kanye has been, since he's announced his album's coming out, I got some clue on this one. He's been tweeting like crazy and making all kinds of controversial comments. He did an interview with Charlamagne the God, City God, Peace God, and he did an interview with TMZ. The story is his interview with TMZ. He made a comment. We addressed some of his things last week, some of the fuckery, and T.I. addressed it too. Shout out to the king himself. But this week, Kanye was on TMZ and made the comment, you like 400 years of slavery, and you went through this thing for 400 years. You lived through this for 400 years. To me, that sounds like a choice. Now,
Poor choice of words.
poor choice of words. I'm not gonna leap to the assumption that he literally said slavery is a choice. Like we were just chilling, like I want to be a slave. I'm gonna go do it tomorrow. That's not what he was saying. However, what he was actually saying was worse. It was worse. What he was saying was our ancestors were too pussy to do anything about it, and that's why slavery went on for 400 years. There's so many things wrong with his comments. I'm just going to start here. One, people did fight. People did die. There were revolutions. That's one. I don't want to hear all this bullshit on Facebook about, well, Nat Turner, you support Nat Turner, and you like what happened in Haiti. Yeah, I did. And people did that here. Some of them weren't successful. Some of them were just killed. Some of them were just maimed. Some of them just died. Some of them were just punished. Some of them were unsuccessful. But to sit there and imply that none of our ancestors fought is not only blind ignorance, it's disrespectful, it's offensive, and it's appalling. And I don't use the word. Anybody ever heard me use the word appalling? I don't use that word. I use it today. That shit is fucking appalling. to imply that our ancestors just they was too scared, they was too pussy to do something.
Really, nigga,
like Governor brought up earlier, like just the people that died in the Middle Passage. The Killmonger quote, I know, bury me in the ocean with my ancestors because they knew it's better to be dead than be in bondage. That's real. Some people died on the boats, never made it here. Some, they couldn't get all the way here. That's why they wound up in Haiti and some of these islands. And some, they got here. They used to take a black man and tie a horse to one arm and leg and another horse to the other arm and leg. And this is literal. This ain't fictitious. This ain't fear mongering. This is real. And send the horses in opposite directions at full speed and rip his body literally apart.
It's called drawing quarter.
In front of
medieval
the whole
attack.
plantation.
Yeah.
And said, who wants to run away? This is what you get. So I don't want to hear that bullshit about people. And people still fought. They still fought. They still revolted. I'm not offended that he said slavery is his choice, or that interpretation. I'm offended. I'm more offended that he acts like nobody fought, like nobody did nothing. Like
this is what happens when you don't read books, And Kanye has openly said that he doesn't read and he likes to go off of conversations and interactions with people and learn that way. But this is exactly what happens when you don't read.
And you don't speak on history based on conversations and interactions. That's intelligent. I've always thought Kanye was a crazy megalomaniac kind of idiot savant. He is somewhat of a musical prodigy, but that's really about it. He's sick in the head. I gotta say it out loud. It just is what it is. And I see a lot of why he would support somebody like Donald Trump, because he sees somebody with a lot of his similar personality, delusional traits, who has been successful.
They're just making Geminis look all kinds of bad.
This dude is like,
I will beat you right now.
Kanye, there are so many facts that you overlook with these kind of statements. I'm just proud of Black America for standing up to Kanye West right now. You know what I'm saying? Kind of changing gears a little bit, moving on to our line of
speaking
shine.
of standing up.
Yeah.
One African American in particular that
exactly,
stood up.
Exactly.
Who was there when Kanye made those comments.
Exactly. Perfect.
Bro, Van Lathan. And you don't get bro. You gotta do some special shit to get bro. So bro, Lance Van Lathan stood up to Kanye in the TMZ studios and said, after he made the comment about slavery, and let him know I was offended, I was hurt, and Mel.
Basically, Kanye, what I feel like you're doing is not thinking at all. What I think is you're doing, what I think you're doing is the absence of thought, and I'm really hurt and offended by the things that you're saying, and basically the person that you've evolved into is something that I don't even recognize as real anymore, which is exactly how a lot of us feel. Like,
yeah.
What's up, Kanye? This is the same person who came out and said that George Bush doesn't care about black people, and then you come out years later saying that 400 years of slavery was a choice. Like,
the same motherfucker that said when I was a kid, me and my mom was arrested for the sit. My mom was arrested for the sit-ins, and with that in my blood, I was born to be different. Like, he acted like he really understood, and I don't know. I know he would say he was drugged up, he was on drugs, he was on these depression medications, and he had liposuction, he was on other opiates and shit. Then he shouldn't be talking, and somebody should be telling him not to talk. T.I. said he's been speaking to him, trying to get him on the right path. Charlamagne the God has. Kanye himself posted a screenshot of a text between him and John Legend, and it's like Kanye is representative of what I call the folk community, because everybody wants to be woke now because it's in style or whatever, but they're not really woke. They're faking it, and they're just doing. It's motherfuckers who just want to be like, I know something you don't know, and I can tell you. Do you know who was the first president and how many votes did he win by? Do you know? Do you know? Well, then you don't know nothing. That's what I call the folk people. Because you bring up irrelevant, dumb shit and because you read it in a book, and then you try to shit on other people for not knowing it. And Kanye ain't even reading shit in books. Kanye is just talking. And I can't even call it a stream of consciousness. I call it a stream of unconsciousness. That is not free thought. I had one of my closest homies used to pull that free thought bullshit as an excuse to be controversial. There's a segment of people who think it's in style and cool to have completely different views from everyone else.
You talking about the
Yeah, they think that makes them special, or makes them cool, or makes them different. You ain't gonna have some pussy behind that. You ain't gonna have some money behind that. It is not a badge of honor to think that you think different because you go against the grain. When you go against the grain, when the whole grain says let's put black people in slavery, it's kind of noble. When you go against the whole grain and you say that black people chose slavery as a choice, it's a little different. And I think you need to understand that.
yeah.
Kanye West, you get the Donald Trump Shut Up Stupid Award. So shut up stupid.
And
Van Lathan, you get the Andre Ingram Grind and Shine Award for putting Kanye, Tom Ye in his goddamn place. So we appreciate you, man.
Where's our producer with our sound effects?
Yeah, Gelman.
You're fired.
Matter of fact, I got your passport. You're not gonna be able to make it back to the America.
Ain't y'all in my house?
That is besides the point.
Erroneous.
Stop bringing up facts. The other half of our Grand Shine Award, are we going into that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, let's do it. Becky Hammond.
Yes, who is currently the very first female assistant coach of the NBA to the San Antonio Spurs. She's being interviewed by the Milwaukee Bucks for the head coaching position. Yay, progressive, breaking rules.
This story touched me. I'm a big NBA fan, to the point that I'm a big WNBA fan. So I remember Becky Hammond. You know what I'm saying? I remember. It's just a testament to 2018. There's no reason a woman shouldn't have been a head coach. They're not playing the game, so she doesn't have to try to block a dunk by LeBron James. She just has to have the mental capacity to understand the game and to come up with effective strategies and motivate people to get the best out of them. That's not a gender-specific job.
I agree.
Bill Laimbeer was the coach of the Detroit Shock in the WNBA.
I agree.
There was a man that was the coach of the WNBA team that won multiple championships.
Yes, they did.
So why can't a woman be the coach of a men's team and win multiple championships?
Right.
Is there a particular reason? Is it because she has on a dress? Like, what the fuck you mean? So I love it, and we're spreading this award around. The NBA gets part of this award for having a program that allowed her to be an assistant coach. The San Antonio Spurs get a huge portion of this award because they hired her as an assistant coach. The Milwaukee Bucks get a huge portion of this award because they brought her in for an interview. I hope it wasn't window dressing.
Yeah, but I sincerely hope that she is strongly considered for the job. And, you know, she's been an assistant with a championship winning team, you know, a perennial playoff team for years now. She slick deserves a strong look.
How long has she been the coach there, assistant coach there?
I don't know the exact amount of time. I'll get that. I'll post it in the Kickbackers Facebook group. But I do know that San Antonio Spurs assistant coaches, they're like 4 head coaches in the NBA that are all under Greg Popovich's tree. Yeah. And they're doing well. Philly's coach, San Antonio. Yeah. He's a disciple of Greg Popovich. Yeah. So Becky Hammond is a disciple of Greg Popovich.
Mm-hmm. Which is probably why Greg Popovich was nominated to be traded for Kanye West.
Oh yeah, because Greg Popovich stands up for all rights of all people, including African Americans, multiple times, and he don't rock with Trump at all. So I want Becky Hammond to get this job. I would hate for her to be interviewed and not get it, but it happens. We've seen the same thing with
I wouldn't be
African
mad if
American
she didn't
coaches.
get it. I feel like that's great that she's even been interviewed. Like I would
It's
love to see
groundbreaking.
more women to be brought into the NBA as in coaching positions. That'd be great. But I think it's awesome that she's even being considered for the position in the first place.
It is. It is.
So,
One time for the most precious thing on God's green earth. You hear me?
you're fired.
It's break time now,
Yeah.
yo.
Break time.
So
We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back. We're going to finish out the show, and then we're going to get into the Avengers.
we're also going to let's announce the question of the day.
Question of the day. Absolutely. Man,
Yes.
God damn it, you on point today.
Thank you. The question of the day is boycotting the answer? Is it effective? Do you guys see boycotting as an effective way of protesting to get what we need?
Tune in, chime in, give us your comments so that we can bring them back to you online and address them directly.
Type them in, we'll read them. Because right now I'm boycotting the NFL, Starbucks, Kanye West. I'm not boycotting Issa, that's my boo. I'm just mad at her. But we're boycotting a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit to boycott, God damn it. So is that the answer? Is that what we're doing? What are your thoughts? Let's take a break. I need to refill my drink. How y'all doing on y'all drinks?
I definitely need to refill.
All right, we're going to refill our drinks. You know, we'll be back in 1 minute. You know what I'm saying? Kickback TV, live from Atlanta, on the road this week. Kickback guys! If y'all ain't watching Cobra Kai on YouTube, man. Oh shit. That's a new I think it's like mustache. Big beard. Right? You know,
Yeah.
my beard is so long that I've been here on my countertop and it's like I had a girl in that. And my beard blows in red. That's right. It does. It does.
All right, Pie Day.
Nigga, I'm dead in. I'm dead in already. Damn nigga.
Hey, I remember that movie. I just kept laughing. I was like, that nigga's beard is so ridiculous. Why the man's beard is so
Look at that. You see, when I pull up over now, this is where it goes to. So, my main shit was already here. So, if I make it, he pulled his, he probably became, you know what I'm saying? He got naval waist beards and shit. That shit great.
What ankle? What?
Naval length beards.
Oh, I was like, what right here?
Because my beard, if I pull it, it'll go down to the chest.
Is your beard turning light up here? Up here.
Yeah, this guy is multicolored inside.
Yeah.
He's got like golden, auburn hair, and then he got gray
The
hair.
first step's going gray.
I already got 3 gray.
Yeah.
I got two.
I got
I'm like 4 hair.
Alright, watch
I'm
out.
not worried about it. So, I'm not doing something.
Clearly, I just went gray, so.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, gray. And I'm getting many compliments on it.
Probably one too many.
That's what?
Huh?
Damn, beautiful. That's the compliments all day.
I cannot argue with that.
Ooh.
You're drunk.
But you see, I pretty much like
Yeah.
stopped
A little
it.
spot.
Yeah, I stopped it. I had
A
to
little spot.
choose my words carefully around you guys.
Yeah, you mad.
Yeah.
I was sitting there like, this is an open opportunity. I was trying to figure out what I was going to say.
Sorry.
Kickbackers!
Minus a few seconds in the time.
What topics we got now? We got the cussing of the day, we got Avengers. so strong. We're not gonna stop by 8.
No, we're not.
We'll finish.
Let's get it.
Kick back, guys!
And we're back.
We're back. Peace to Lakeem Muhammad. What up, Nikki? I got Big Sis tuned in. We gotta do a show. We bring our siblings on 1 week.
Ooh, that would be awesome. Yeah, let's have Leslie on here.
Factoid and Walter.
Yeah.
Factory.
Hey, Paul.
So, all right, thank y'all for tuning in. Kickback TV live from Atlanta. We're on the road this week, so you never know what's going to happen. But we are Kickback TV live from Atlanta, also known as the Black CNN, and the revolution will be televised. I'm New the Mayor, the Righteous Ratchet. If you throw it, I'll catch it. If you got it, I'll match it. Every Sunday at 7 p.m. Right back at it. Shaolin, fantastic. Ow!
What up, y'all? It's your girl, Soul Melanie, also known as Melanie Dion of House Shorthand, the breaker of men, queen of creeps, also known as the conscious creep. Hey.
Hey, I'm calling you So Melanie from now on.
What's up, Melanie? Hey.
What's up, y'all? It's JB Frank. I'm that gangster.
Call me Storm.
Representing Nerds with Attitude. Me and Bentley here.
Yeah, like that's baby. You know, his hair is changing the same color as F's beard.
Damn.
Look at it. It's turning like auburn and like shit, you know?
Wow. That's,
You know.
it's kind of true, though.
Yeah, hey, y'all ever seen white people with their dogs and they
You
like
on the
dogs?
white? Wow.
Billy is clearly black.
Stop. Just stop.
Speaking of orange hair, that's a horrible segue.
Oh
But,
no, we're into.
oh, that's right.
Oh,
Question of the
question
day.
of the day.
I'm jumping ahead.
You guys send
Let's get back
I'm
to it.
looking at you guys send your comments in for question of the day. Let's see.
No.
Y'all hard headed. But all right. So the question of the day is what, JB?
Is boycotting the answer? We got a lot of different issues going on. It's a lot of shit we're taking umbrage to.
I'm
Does it
taking
make sense?
umbrage to a lot of shit. Go ahead, JB. But I like that word, umbrage. I'm taking umbrage. I took umbrage to a lot. Hey, young, you got me with this joint taking umbrage to some shit, my nigga. What's wrong with you?
So the question is boycotting the answer? Is boycotting an effective way to change some of these policies, practices, whatever that we object to? I'll open it up to the floor while we gather more comments, because I certainly have an opinion about this question of the day. Strong opinion.
At this point in time, I feel like boycotting is not, but it could be very effective if people would actually like stick to what they're actually boycotting. Like if we all collectively, not just black people, with our other allies of other nationalities, if we all worked together and all of us boycotted, I do think that boycotting could be an effective form of protesting. But right now, people will have like really short attention spans, and if they feel like if it causes a significant inconvenience to their everyday life, they're not willing to make that sacrifice.
I have been the guilty party. I made a statement years ago that I'm not boycotting anything that's going to inconvenience me. And I've been pro-black my whole life, but that was my stance. I'm not inconveniencing my fucking self. Life's too hard already. I changed that in 2016 and said, you know what, fuck that. Go through some inconvenience, nigga. We can't support this shit. Mm-hmm. And I have been boycotting everything. I like my homegirl be like, nigga, every week you boycotting something new, you never had nothing left. And I'm like, man, if that's what I gotta do, that's what I gotta do. But I'm not boycotting to punish big corporations, because I'm only one person. And I'm fully aware that the rest of my people, y'all, ain't boycotting with me. So I'm not doing it like I'm gonna boycott this, and I'm doing it because I just don't want to support certain shit. Like, I didn't want to support the NFL last year. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to support H&M. These are things that are personal to me because I shop at H&M. I shopped at H&M a lot. Like, all my V-necks used to come from H&M and my little work shirts and shit. So it was like things that totally inconvenienced me. But I don't know if that's the right thing to do.
People who do not like being in positions where they don't feel comfortable, and that's really the only way that change and growth takes place. When you are uncomfortable and you like wrestle with these things, like that's when you know change and hopefully progress is being made. But people aren't willing to make those sacrifices.
You know, the long and short of it, from my perspective, is that boycotts are just logistically ineffective at this point. I understand the spirit of the movement, and I also fully comprehend the concept of voting with your feet, meaning that it is a personal decision. I no longer rock with the ethos of this company, therefore I personally will not support it, right? The way boycotts used to work in the past, ladies and gentlemen, is that our economy, our U.S. economy was very different. It was much more local than it is now, right? So, for example, in Birmingham, Alabama in 1955, the company that ran all of the bus routes in Birmingham, Alabama was not supported by the state. It was not supported by the federal government the way those transportation companies are now, and it was not a part of a potentially global conglomeration, right? So when the people of Birmingham, Alabama boycotted that bus company, being that Alabama had a significant black population, it affected the economy of that company, such that that company had to change in order to stay afloat and alive.
And also that boycott lasted for a very long time.
Yeah, so we're not doing that anymore because we no longer have the buying power to affect these large conglomerates, these large corporations. Black people are 10% of the U.S. population, right? That's it. That's all. And all of these global corporations do not operate within our other population center, which is Africa. So we are ass out in the global economy. Let's just keep it 100. Boycotts are not effective for that reason. Boycotts need to be conjoined with an interracial movement in order to be effective, in my opinion.
Which is exactly what I said.
Yeah, I'm agreeing.
So, if that happens, does that mean a boycott are the way to go then? If we get our John Browns, our white brothers and sisters, Latino brothers and sisters,
Our Chris Longs.
Chris Long,
I think that
our Sam Yannis, we get all them together. Does that mean that boycotts are effective then?
I think that logistically speaking, the boycott would be a construct of a much larger movement that supersedes it. If you lead with a boycott, then you're just not going to motivate absolutely everybody. You got to start with a bigger, stronger, more powerful movement to motivate across these racial lines in order to get to the point where a boycott would be even that effective. So I think that you start with something other than a boycott, you know, in this political, in this economic climate.
It's interesting because what is that thing?
That is the question.
You know what I'm saying? I think
that is the question.
I think that we all should be at the point where we're fighting against oppression, injustices in the legal system, the law system. That should already exist.
Right.
And when somebody violates one of those tenets, then we boycott them. Unless they make amends. I am all like I'm not super impressed by Starbucks' going to shut down for racial sensitivity training. That didn't move me, you know, maybe as much as it did some other people, but it was a step. And I think companies need to make steps. Mm-hmm. And if you don't make any step, I think like LA Fitness. I just joined LA Fitness 3 months ago. They had their situation, And
They did nothing but fire the people.
and they fired the people. I think those people have to be fired no matter what. But that's just a step. It needs to be a few steps, and that's kind of where I am. Like there needs to be something needs to happen. And I think we need to define going into 2019 what that something is.
I agree.
Because what's the universal sign, the universal moment where we go, okay, we forgive you, we'll support you again. What is that?
Right.
And I don't think that we know. And that needs to be defined. And I'll put in work to try to figure that out myself and try to define it myself. Is boycotting the answer?
We don't know.
I'm not sure.
Can't answer that question.
I'm not sure.
Right now my answer is no, but you know the jury's still out. Like I said. Anyway,
What we got next?
Speaking of protesting and people who are, well, I guess,
I know what you're trying to do.
I can't even. This motherfucker, 45. Okay, so he wants to have a race summit, I guess you could say.
Yep.
A meeting of multicultural people, primarily athletes and entertainers, to talk about race relations in the United States. He's invited Colin Kaepernick and his good friend that shares his dragon energy, Kanye West, will also be a participant in this meeting. He's also invited Jim Brown and Mike Tyson and other people who, I guess he sees his allies to himself.
And this is why I'm gonna circle around. And I know, just try to follow me. But this is why Issa's comments are so offensive.
right.
Because there are no black intellectual men invited to this. There are no black women invited to this. You're going with athletes and entertainers, which means that those are like on political issues, socioeconomic issues. And you're going to our athletes and our entertainers for their input.
Not people who actually are well versed in this type of thing and
Right.
can speak intelligently on it. No, not to say that entertainers and athletes can't, that they're not capable of doing it, but they're not.
It's
Like
not
I said,
their
they're not as
own
well
This
versed.
is not
Yeah,
their
they're
job.
not that
It is not their job
Yeah,
to.
it's not.
to
It's
have
not.
it.
These are not.
And the biggest fact of that is there are people who it's their job to do these
Yes.
things. You're not going to the African American congressmen or senators or civil rights leaders or
He didn't invite like
freedom fighters.
Boyce Watkins or
Auntie Maxine.
Yeah,
Or
Maxine
John
Lewis
Lewis.
Yeah, none of those people were invited to
Or
this.
Oprah, shit, Oprah. You went to our best dribblers and our best singers and dancers to have a discussion about what's right for. It's disrespectful. It's offensive.
It's a photo op.
It's a photo.
It's
op.
basically-
God damn it, say it again.
It's a photo op. It's the exact same shit he did when they
bullshit.
had that meeting with all the people from the HBCUs and shit, and they didn't discuss a motherfucking thing.
It's bullshit.
And they just took pictures with this nigga. Like, there is nothing that is gonna come out of this meeting. It is a photo op. It's a publicity stunt. That is all it is. He's trying to make it seem like he's trying to make progress. He is not. That man is not someone who is about progress, about helping out other people who are not in this, who don't share the same skin tone or tax bracket as him.
Yeah, this is bad. It's pandering. It's horrible. I just hope none of us are fooled, and I hope that none of you are fooled by this bullshit. That's all I gotta say.
I just
All
had
gotta say.
a high thought. What if Kanye doing all this shit
That's a
to
new
get
segment.
Yeah, a new segment. Yeah,
High
thought. The high thought.
Hot dogs.
What if he doing all this shit just to get this meeting with Trump so he can unleash and really do some real
So he can
shit?
go Emmanuel Macron,
Swoop by the door.
the
Yeah.
the president of France. Like he basically was up there, holding hands, shaking hands, kissing babies with Trump, and then got in front of the Senate. Was like, fuck what he got to say. This is what it should be, and da 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 da. Well played, sir.
Yeah,
Well played.
and I'm not suggesting Kanye is doing that.
I don't think he
He's
is.
definitely not
Because I
doing that.
think
He
he's
showed
in a
us his
sucker
cards.
place.
Kanye
But-
showed us his cards.
But it would be wild as shit if that's what he was doing. But I don't think that's what he's doing. So it's still fuck Kanye. But I just had a high thought, which is a new segment on the show. What's our next topic?
Kevin Hart.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Broken heart.
Ooh.
Broken heart.
Man.
Broken heart.
So y'all remember a few months ago, like when Kevin Hart was on Instagram apologizing to Nico and his fans, you know, he's like, I made a bad decision. And then, you know, we're like, why is he apologizing? And then like hours later, this you see like this clip of him in a hotel room and he's like having sex with this other woman. And like the woman was like, I did not do this. And everybody in the world called her a hoe, made her seem like she was
Set up.
this horrible person, that she had set him up and all this other shit.
Somebody
Owes this woman an apology. Because as it turns out, one of Kevin Hart's boys is responsible for the whole thing, was trying to extort this nigga for whatever amount of money that he was trying to get. He's the one who's responsible for it. JT Jackson is his name. They've been friends for like 15 years, y'all. 15 fucking years. And your boy sets you up.
That's hate.
Puts a camera in the hotel room.
That's just pure.
Fisticuffs.
It's beyond hate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why when I talk about the five, or Jimmy talk about the five, like the five nigga, like it's 5 friends from childhood, 29, 30 years of friendship, and
That shit wouldn't pass.
it wouldn't
That shit
happen.
pass.
It just wouldn't happen. Period. That wouldn't happen. Not that it wouldn't pass. It wouldn't happen. And that's why my circle's so small. It's like a period. Yeah. That's why you keep your circle small. And that's why you don't let everybody in.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can imagine some ancillary nigga doing some bullshit like that. But that's why I don't put ancillary niggas in positions of power where they could do shit like that.
Absolutely right.
Like, that's just
Absolutely right.
wow. Just wow. This dude is your friend of 15 years. 15 years ain't a short period of time.
Nope.
That ain't like I just met you last week.
Nope.
That's 15
You consider
years.
that a lifelong friend, man. 15
That's
years.
a long fucking time.
You consider that a lifelong friend until some bullshit like this happens. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's
Keep your
crazy.
friends closer, your enemies closer.
I'm saying like with your 5 being the crew though, your crew though, dude, that shit wouldn't stand even if an ancillary motherfucker did it. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. A collection would be taken for some doctor bills because
Lawyer fees.
consequences and repercussions. Boy.
And he's gonna rot in jail. I think he's gonna get 3 years or something like that for the extortion attempts.
Oh, he's gonna get fucked up.
Yeah, that's so terrible, man.
You did that shit to Kevin Hart and you going to prison?
You in trouble. You in trouble. That nigga's not gonna be walking straight.
So
without
much
He
trouble.
get his shit pushed up to his chest.
Oh,
You got doodle stains in your throat, bitch.
Yeah, it's some foul ass,
horrible.
disrespectful shit,
Bullshit.
man.
Bullshit. All right, well, let's keep it moving, y'all. That's some fuck shit.
And Ron said, was she in on it? Was she with it with the dude?
No.
I don't know the
No.
answer to that.
She wasn't.
Okay.
That's why she hired Gloria Allred to be her attorney to prove that she had no involvement in this. Which is why
So
I
she was
said
just innocent,
somebody
just trying to
owes
suck
her.
a dick.
Yes,
God
I mean, I
damn it.
hate to say it like that, but yes, that's exactly
It's
what it
fucked
was.
up.
Like she was down with it with Kevin, and then old boy set the whole shit up. Which means, I mean, this is not. It's obviously, this is a pattern of behavior from Kevin because this nigga knew that shit was going down. So yeah, I mean, it's just
All
sucks.
the way fucked up.
Mhm.
All the way fucked up. It's time, y'all. Netflix and chill.
Spoilers.
It's time.
Spoilers ahead.
Let's do it.
So if you really don't want
We-
to know what happened in Avengers Infinity War, I suggest you leave now.
This is when you go. You got 10 seconds.
You've been warned.
10, 9, 8, 7,
1.
6, 1.
Boom.
So, if you haven't seen
Everybody dies.
Avengers, yeah.
No.
So we're going into Avengers. Spoilers are coming in 3, 2, 1. First of all, great fucking movie.
Yes.
Great movie.
Great fucking movie.
Yes.
I enjoyed it even more on my second watch. I got to see it again this weekend.
Oh, that's what's up.
I've been watching it on my Fire Stick. I've been watching. I know the lines now. Like, I've watched Avengers. I saw the theaters in 3D, and I've seen maybe like the entire movie in its entirety. But I have literally cut it on at various parts about 4 or 5 times this week.
Okay.
I love the Fire Stick. Fire Stick is shit.
It's definitely the good.
You're the goat. The story, I guess, is the character Thanos, who appeared in the first Avengers movie after the opening credits. It kind of disappeared, and we kind of wondered what that was about. He's been behind the major attacks. The Loki led attack on New York. He was behind, and if you don't read the comic books, which I don't, but I watch all the movies and the cartoons, is Thanos is trying to take over the universe. What his plan is, I guess, is to, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, is to get to slice the population in half at least.
To create balance.
To create more balance in the universe. And, you know, I think he has a warped view, skewed view, because his planet was destroyed because it was overpopulated. Mm-hmm. So he's all about population control, but he's going to places where population control isn't even the issue.
Right.
It hasn't become an issue yet, with the thinking that it will be an issue. Mm-hmm. So I can save the entire, not just my planet or your planet, I can save the universe if I employ a population control strategy. Mm-hmm. And he needs the Infinity Stones to do it. And we're going to go into detail. JB, can you help me out and give me the 6 Infinity Stones? Because
Okay.
I can't.
Okay, so you have
Reality,
you have reality, mind,
Soul,
space, time, soul.
soul,
Yeah.
space, time,
That's 5. We're missing one.
and balls.
intellect,
Intellect, okay.
mind.
Mind.
You
Yeah.
said mine. That was the first one you
Oh,
named.
so it was mind, reality, soul,
Soul,
spirit,
space,
space, time, earth. No, there wasn't
In
a
spirit? In spirit world?
God, what was that?
There
It was the
6
yellow
Infinity
stone. What was that last stone?
The
I'm
last
gonna look it
stone
up.
was one he got from Vision, which was the Mind Stone.
Vision.
Oh, then that's the one.
Vision.
I
That's the
Mind
Mind
Stone.
Stone. The
But he
Mind
said
Stone.
Mind first.
Oh, he did. Damn, we keep going back to that.
Mind, reality, time.
What was Doctor Strange's
Space.
one? Is that time?
Time, his
Time.
time.
Space Stone blue, Reality Stone red, Power Stone purple.
Power Stone.
Power
That's the one
Stone.
we keep leaving out.
Power Stone.
The stone that I got.
Soul,
Power
the
Stone.
Soul Stone we don't yet know.
He got a Soul
He got
Stone.
the Soul
No,
Stone.
I'm just reading.
Oh, that's the one he got for sacrificing Gamora.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Oh, yeah.
He
That's
killed a little. He killed Blue Bay. Blue Bay.
24, so this they didn't want to spoil it.
Oh, yeah.
So,
He killed Blue Bay.
The reality.
Blue Bay died. Blue Bay.
I thought she's green.
Green Bay. You know I'm colorblind because I don't look at race
Shut up.
unless it's a black woman. That's the only
Shut
time I look at race.
So,
What?
so
I love my
Gamora,
sisters.
Gamora died. I mean, real talk.
Everybody
The
died.
long and short of it is, and this is the crazy part: Thanos wins. and here's what was. This is the one drawback I had to the movie. The one criticism I had. It was awfully fucking easy for him to pick up the Infinity Stones. That nigga looked like he was running errands. He was like, oh, let me dip in, snatch this one up real quick. Let me grab this one. Oh, I got a twofer over here. Like, it was just...
That's because nobody was willing to sacrifice.
Ron
someone else.
said Hulk disappointed him. Hulk disappointed me.
Hulk bitched out.
Hulk jumped on Thanos in the opening scene. Thanos whooped his ass,
Yes.
and Hulk refused to
come
appear.
back out at all. He was
He's
like,
like, I'm good.
Bruce
I'm
Banner's
good.
like, Hulk, I really need you to come out. He's like,
No!
I'm Gucci. I'm Gucci.
He's like, what do you mean, no?
And here we go, puny God.
Yeah.
Right. You ain't say that
ain't say that
about.
shit this
You ain't say that about Thanos.
Thanos
Hulk.
was that ass.
Thanos
Beat the brakes off.
beat the brakes off Hulk, and he's a bad motherfucker. But they came with a plan, and they had Thanos almost thwarted.
And fucking
And
Peter
then
Quill.
Peter Quill, fucking Star-Lord,
Star-Lord.
fuck her ass,
All his films
realized
about Green Bay.
that Green Bay
Is dead.
Packers had died, and
Fucked it up for everybody.
Yep.
he fucked it up for everybody.
Fuck that
And
money.
I rewatched it. They had the glove off his hand.
Yeah, they did. They
Peter and
That
Iron
Iron
Man
Man.
had the glove off until Quill,
Started punching him in
Star-Lord,
the
started
face
punching him and engaging with him when he was under hypnosis from Alien Bay with the
What's her
things
name?
on her head and she was thing with the people and she like, relax,
What's her name?
relax.
Look like them jokers in Men in Black too.
She does.
Yeah,
she
she
looks
does.
exactly
She
like
does.
one of those.
She does.
In the
What is her name?
Wow.
I heard her pussy get real wet.
Wow.
Side note, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. And that's when Quill lost his shit and
Fucked all that money
kind of
up.
woke Thanos up out of the trance, and
Fuck that money.
Thanos did the Thanos finger snap. And
It wasn't at that point that he did.
Well, it wasn't at that point, but he was at liberty to do it once
Well,
he got the Mind Stone.
I'm kind of confused by what Doctor Strange did too, dude. Because
I can break it down.
Huh?
Tell them why you're confused, and then I'll
I'm
explain.
confused because Doctor Strange essentially gave Thanos the Time Stone at one
To
point.
save Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Doctor Strange mentioned in the movie that he saw 1,636 outcomes
It was like
of the
14
situation.
million. Yeah,
14 million.
And there was only one where
There's
they
only
actually
one where they won. And the one where they won was when he gave up the stone.
That's exactly why Doctor Strange.
That's why he
Because-
did it.
because in the
Because
beginning of
he
the movie-
knew Tony couldn't die. Because in the scenario that we win, Iron Man is part of it. So if Iron Man dies, then that one scenario doesn't come true. Say thank you, Uncle New.
Fix yourself.
Okay, all right. But that's why Doctor Strange gave up. And I need to watch Doctor Strange's movie again because Doctor Strange was a powerful.
Yeah, he was.
He is a bad motherfucker. You gotta realize, like, everybody else is a crew.
That's
He's
strange.
one
He
motherfucker.
got his own henchmen.
Yeah, he got.
He got okay, so
He got
he's two
a cake.
motherfuckers, but everybody else
Yo,
is
the
a crew.
cake is
Yeah,
bad.
The
Cake-
cake is a
cake
motherfucker.
bullshit.
The cake don't play. The cake don't
The cake will
play.
fuck you up.
But honestly, JB, everybody's individual. They come together for Avengers shit.
That's true.
They're all individual. Iron Man is
Thor
Iron
works
Man.
alone.
He has one homie. Thor is just Thor. Hulk is just Hulk. Natasha,
Well,
Black Widow
I'm
got her homie
thinking-
Clint.
Yeah.
But everybody is ultimately they're about themselves.
Unless they have a
Yeah,
sidekick,
I'm thinking Doctor Strange is the only one who was walking around wearing an Infinity Stone aside from Vision. Vision died.
Well, yeah.
I mean, there's only 6 stones.
Lucky. Oh, yeah. So everybody can have a stone. I know what you're saying, but I'm just disagreeing with you saying I'm right and you're wrong. That's all I'm saying, JB.
I don't agree with that.
Here we go.
He's
Here
not
we
right.
go.
He's not right. Well, they mentioned Doctor Strange in
I do need to
First Avengers
rewatch
movie too.
Doctor Strange because that is the one Marvel movie that I struggle to get through every
Me
single
too.
time.
You fall asleep.
Yeah, every
You
single
fall
fucking
asleep.
time. But now, having seen this movie twice, and every time in the 2 times that I've seen it, I definitely have grown a greater appreciation for Doctor Strange.
Me
So
too.
now I
Me
feel
too.
like I really
Me too.
need to go back and watch that movie again. Like,
Doctor Strange is a great movie.
I've been watching Doctor
it's
Strange. I tried to watch it once right before we saw Infinity War. It still didn't make it to it.
yeah.
Yeah, it ain't a late night movie. It's
Should I try watching it in the middle of the day, in the morning? It just doesn't. But I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna totally watch
This
it
week,
again.
Monday this week, we gonna watch it.
Okay.
You just gonna pick a day and be like, fuck it, we gonna watch it. And we both watching it. Well, really, all of us can watch it, and we just sit there and watch that motherfucker.
And we gotta be quiet because we will start talking
Yeah,
and won't
yeah.
finish the. We'll
I
be,
think it would
it'll
be
be
different.
on, but we won't be watching it.
I think it'll be different now because we saw his impact in the Infinity War movie.
Hopefully,
I
we
hope.
all did the drinking. And
But Thanos is a bad motherfucker. Thanos is like my second favorite villain next to Marlo from The Wire. Like I fucks with Thanos.
Thanos is a bad
Thanos
motherfucker.
gangster.
Thanos wipes motherfuckers out, and Thanos will take on everybody.
shout out to Peter Dinklage who plays a large dwarf.
Oh shit. Thanos was in 4 Avenger movies and Guardian of the Galaxy.
Yep.
He was?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, 'cause
Absolutely.
we see him in the 3rd Avengers. Because that.
But that's not 3rd Avengers ain't 4 Avengers.
No, I'm just naming
4
movies where we would
different
have seen
Avenger
him.
movies. Okay, that's one.
And then you said he
And
was
that's
in the
Josh
first one
Brolin.
briefly.
The Josh Brolin.
Uh-huh.
Right?
He was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
He was?
Yes, he
What did
was
he do
at
in
the
Guardians
very
of the
end.
Well, he's Gamora's daddy, so I'm sure he played. I haven't all of them.
He was in the second. He's in both Guardians of the Galaxy. Actually,
He was in them?
yeah. if
Now,
I'm-
in them or reference to them?
Yeah.
well, I
in
mean,
them.
Well,
he
he's
made an
referenced.
appearance, like in
They showed him.
Yes.
You see Thor Ragnarok?
What the hell? I don't remember seeing him except in one Avengers movie. I'm not saying I'm
At the end of
open
the
to
movie,
being
the
wrong.
trailer, like the end of the movie trailer thingy.
Yeah, I
Is
saw
he
him in that
Ragnarok?
one jump. That's the only one I saw. Only one I remember. I didn't even correct myself. Only one I remember is in that one Avengers movie, but he was at the end. Ron, you gotta prove what you're saying. Prove it. Cause I don't remember him. I don't remember seeing him in one movie.
That's
I
it.
could be wrong.
I know for a fact he's been in more than one movie. I'm not gonna say that it's 4, but I definitely know it's more than one because I remember at least 2.
I don't even think the actor that played him in this movie is what I saw in the first movie. I think that was a motherfucking what you call it? The green screen. What's that term they use?
I remember him
They
in
call it
Guardians.
green
Well,
screen thing?
you gotta remember.
I'll ask you a question. What's that thing called?
What?
With the green screen thing? They'll call
CGI.
it CGI. I think it was a CGI version of him. I don't even think it was the same actor.
Well, yeah, that's distinctly possible.
The character appears in various Marvel Cinematic
He's
Universe
in-
films, including The Avengers 2012,
That's the one I know.
Infinity
Guardians
War
of the
and
Galaxy
Guardians of the Galaxy.
2014,
And the
Avengers Age of Ultron 2015,
Uh-huh.
He was in Age of Ultron?
Yes.
2018.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And it's
That's Avengers 3.
untitled sequel coming out next year.
Yep.
What did he do in Age of Ultron?
Is that the one with the attack on New York?
No, that's
Age of
that's-
Ultron
that's
is
Next one.
That's 2012.
But yeah, he's in. I thought I saw him in Age of Ultron.
What did he do in Age of Ultron?
I don't remember, but I feel like I briefly saw him in there.
I
He was in the first The Avengers in
I don't
2012.
feel like I saw him.
He was in the first Avengers in 2012.
So he was in
That I
Avengers,
know.
Avengers
That's the only
3,
one I
and
think.
Being 4.
That's the only one I recall.
He was in both Guardians of the Galaxy. I know that for a fact because he's Gamora's father.
He just played in one.
That don't mean he was in them. Just the
He played in the first Guardians of the Galaxy in 2014.
Okay.
But he was in 4.
But that's what Ron said. 4.
Well, there you have it. Fact to the fact.
Okay. And we'll end it with
All the black people die.
Yes.
oh shit. Not all of them.
Okay, the only one that doesn't die is Don Cheadle. All the
Yep.
black people die.
All
Man,
And like,
everybody
okay.
in Wakanda ain't
Okay,
died.
aside from them, like the main out of the main Avengers core group, and including
Nick Fury, Falcon. Who else?
Idris Elba's character.
Oh yeah, the guy.
Overtime!
Hyla.
Yeah, and that's it, right? And
Yeah.
T'Challa.
And and the black. Yeah. So yeah.
All the black people die. Except for one.
It's fucked up. It's all the way back.
None of the black women died. Issa Rae. I don't know what that means.
I'm like, what?
I just said it. I Kanye'd it. I didn't think about it before I said it. I did a Kanye.
Scarlett
I Kanye'd
Johansson
that.
was in there.
What you're doing
rocking
is
out
actually the
blonde
opposite
shit.
of thought. It's the absence of thought.
Avengers is a great movie. It hit $1 billion in the first 10 days,
Yeah,
weekend.
10, yeah, like 9 days in.
So Avengers is gonna do better than Black Panther,
It already
but
did.
Black Panther is the second largest Marvel movie ever to this all-star movie that included Black Panther and included Wakanda, because
Yeah.
little sister Bay was in it, and then
Wakanda Factory
Kick Your
Kid
Ass
is
Bay was in it.
Okoye?
Yeah,
That's where the main battle was fought.
Sexy up in her guts Bay wasn't in this one. I don't know why Lupita wasn't in this one. I feel a way about it, but I don't want to. I won't be too judgmental. But I mean, the Gus Bay should have been in that zone.
It was like 3 different battles at the end. That shit was fire.
And Thor came in there with that.
Thor came with the axe,
Yeah.
chopping them down.
And we got to shout out Teenage Groot.
Yeah. Teenage Groot. I am Groot.
I ain't crazy.
Like, whoa,
He was, yeah.
what a profanity.
I feel like I speak Groot a little bit. Like,
Yeah,
me too.
I'm gonna be a nerd. I'm gonna be a nerd for a second
I ain't good.
because if you've studied any North mythology, there's a tree called Mjolnir, and Mjolnir is supposed to be the life tree, the big tree that is the source of all life on Earth. That's part of Norse mythology.
Now, what's that word?
What?
North?
Norse.
Spell it.
Vikings.
Norse. Norse.
I got it right. I was just talking about this weekend. I was like, yeah, JB told me about this shit. And I was bragging and acting like I knew some shit. And I was like, they're like, North? I was like, no, it's not North. It's Norse. It's Norse. And if you study any of this, you know. And I was on my bullshit. And I was like, yeah, because I know this thing. Because me and JB talked. I know. But I was like, I think. And you just proved that I was right. So, I was right.
He hypes it, I fact it. That's just who we are. It was really cool because Thor had this whole moment where he could understand Groot. And they was like, you speak Groot? And he was like, yeah,
it's elective on Asgard.
Here, that's why it was an elective at Asgard. Because
I sounded like cool.
the Norse mythology is very closely tied to living trees. So that's where that came. That's where that came from, y'all. Dope little moment, dope little addition, adding some real Norse mythology to the whole thing. I really done that.
Yeah, Ron said he came through in a clutch. Yeah, when the Bible was going crazy, Thor showed up through the axe around and then killed everybody. And then Thor was like, "Where's Thanos?" And then he pulled up on Thanos, stabbed him in the chest.
With
like, bitch ass nigga, I'm
threw
here.
the axe and then shoved it further into his chest.
Like, I'm here, bitch ass nigga.
And Thanos was like, you should have went for the head.
And then Thanos' finger snapped. And that was that. But for the record, Thor can beat Thanos.
Hey.
Thor beat Thanos'
He
ass.
thought we weren't coming through with the hammer.
It's an axe now.
It is, but shut up, you're fucking up my joke.
Yeah, I'm intentionally doing that.
No.
Jesus.
So we gotta wait and see. At the end of the movie, Sam Jackson,
Queen of Creeps. Jesus Christ.
yeah, right? Sam Jackson sent a text message to Captain Marvel, who is a woman, who is the most powerful character in Marvel Comics, and we'll see how she responds to this. She's their version of Superman, so she's their all-powerful being, and we'll see how help she offers. I heard that the actress they picked to play her isn't a popular choice. We're going to get a Captain Marvel movie, which is going to be her in the 70s, showing her backstory. And then we're going to get Avengers 4, which will be the follow-up to this Avengers Infinity War, which will be, I guess, Infinity War Part 2.
So does she age, or is she like Captain America, where she just doesn't,
I'm not into the comics.
Okay.
I just know what they put on.
Because if
JB,
she was like in her 20s in the 70s, she like, oh.
Yeah, she's too powerful for the age.
She might have that Wolverine shit going on.
Yeah, she want to be one of the baddest comics and baddest characters in the genre. I will say this: I don't get choked up on movies. It takes a whole lot, and I didn't get choked up on this one. But there was a moment of vulnerability for me, and it was when Spider-Man Peter Parker went to Iron Man and was like, Mr. Stark, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Please. And he hugged her like, I don't want to go. And I was like, oh, they could have Peter.
Yep.
And I know Spider-Man was always a teenager, but I felt that shit. I was like, motherfucker. I wanted to use my hammer and fight alongside of my motherfucking Avengers. And I was like, I'm about to use my powers and shit. I wanted to save motherfucking Peter, you know. That shit hurt.
A lot of niggas died. It was bad. We'll see how it comes back. I don't know, man. I don't know how they're gonna fix this shit.
That was
killed.
Yeah, that was I know how they're gonna fix it.
Times.
Thanos did his finger snap to kill them all. They're gonna unsnap the finger and bring them all back. But I don't think Gamora's coming back.
No, I think anybody who died. Yeah, I don't think anybody who died prior to the snap is gonna come back.
But I think, I agree with Mel. I don't think anybody prior to the snap coming back.
There's no way.
Gamora, I don't think Gamora's coming back.
You can't
come back. Low key ain't come back. They snapped that man neck. Like, you ain't. You out of here.
He's done. He's done.
Yeah.
He's done.
And just a total sidebar. Stan Lee did make a cameo in this movie.
Yes, he did.
I know he's sick, and I know it's not looking good, and I know at some point we're going to get that news.
But
he's
like
he
90.
made it to Infinity War.
Yeah.
And I was very happy about that. because I'm not a comic book guy, but I watched all the cartoons. And Stan Lee would narrate some of the Spider-Man cartoons. Because I'm not a comic book guy, I don't know all of the characters. My knowledge on characters is very limited. I know like 12 characters. But one of them I knew was Spider-Man, and Stan Lee was on that show all the time. So I do have an affinity for Stan Lee. We'll leave you with this. The Karate Kid. From the 80s, that movie, they have a TV show produced by Will Smith and Overbrook Entertainment that features the Karate Kid, Ralph Macchio, Daniel San, and the guy that played Johnny from Cobra Kai as adults in their lives when they hit their late 40s, early 50s. And the storyline is amazing. They do a lot of tributes to the movie throughout the season. It's a YouTube show. You can watch the first 2 episodes for free. You have to have YouTube Red to view the entire season, or Fire Stick.
Yep. For the win.
But I'm going to say this, and I want you guys to hear me. In 2018, I have not watched a better new show. There is no better new show than Cobra Kai. It's marvelously written. It's the acting is great. The storyline, like the way they incorporate the movie Karate Kid, and with this new storyline, like it's fucking phenomenal. I started watching it last night. I finished it today. All 10 episodes. It's a half-hour series. It is great.
Well, you know, Will Smith loves the Karate Kid because he's the one that did the
We
whole
did
the revamp with Jaden. So
It's not good.
Nah, that's
It's
not.
great.
yeah, he loves the Karate Kid.
I'm telling you, it's great. And I'm gonna challenge both of y'all, my co-hosts. I challenge you to watch it.
I'm gonna check
And
some of
next
it out
week-
tonight.
Yeah,
I challenge you to tell me it's not great. That's the challenge. The challenge isn't to watch it. The challenge isn't to finish it. The challenge is to come back and tell me it's not great.
Okay, I'll check it out. You know, I love that Karate Kid shit. I got all 3 of the movies.
Fucking great. Thank you for tuning in. Kickback TV live from Atlanta. We're on location. You know what I'm saying? How we do. Appreciate you tuning in. Check out the Kickback TV live from Atlanta post on Facebook live. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on iTunes and everywhere podcasts are available. This is a podcast. And this Wednesday, make sure you check us out on Rant TV. Not Rant TV. Excuse me. Rant Podcast. Random Ass New Thoughts. My 2 co-hosts were gracious enough to guest star this week on the Rant Podcast, which started last week. Thank you everybody that tuned in. But we're gonna go in even harder this week because on Kickback TV, we're not politically correct, but we're kind of
Political.
yeah, we're political. Rant Broadcast is just random ass new thoughts. Might be about sex, might be about sports, might be about politics. You never know. It's just random ass new thoughts.
In
Rant.
you.
In you. Or if you're Ashanti, in you.
No.
Good night, y'all.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good
Peace
night,
out.
everybody.
Y'all never let me have no fun no more. This shit is
Not on that
God.
shit. Not on
I
that.
just wanted to have some fun.
forgot how good this movie was.
Gentlemen, kick back, guys.
That look like a snack.
Thank you for tuning in. You like a whole meal.
Damn.
Oh, my skirt is a little short.
Wait a minute. We might get some more views. Where you go?
Shut up.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Watch Rant or listen to Rant on iTunes and Android and all that shit. Everything's in the group. You'll get all the information. Don't worry.
Ooh.
Look at Stone.
Yes.
Why you ain't help Vision?
Because I'm not even in Wakanda yet.
Oh, okay. You supposed to be married to T'Challa.
Not yet.
Oh.
Don't worry about me. I got T'Challa, okay? When he come back, we're gonna have us some little Wakanda babies.
Oh, I don't know. Nakia.
No, she's the ex, okay? I'm the next.
Oh. Well. And there you have it. Kick